Hey, what's up, everybody? Pat here, grateful recovering alcoholic and addict, just like every day. Guys, please don't forget to subscribe, leave the video a like, drop me a comment, and by all means, share it with anybody you think might get something out of it. Other than that, how is everybody today, guys? Happy Valentine's Day to all the beautiful women out there. Um, Guys, have a good day. Treat your spouses, your significant others, and just friends and family in your life well today. We should every day, but today's a day to go the extra mile. I'm currently single, so I didn't have anybody to spoil today. But after my video, I'm going to send out a bunch of texts and just, wish everybody a happy Valentine's. I did so with my sister and my family. Every day is a great day to just be your best self and promote kindness and loving and compassion. And that's something I'm proud of myself for taking as my stance. And it's helped me grow immensely, guys. And it's so contrary to the tough guy image I was trying to portray forever. And you know what? When I got to be honest, yes, I'm a strong person. I'm a tough person. That's proven by just what I'm able to handle and what I was able to go through and come out of it kind, compassionate, and self confident enough to understand that, yeah, I'm a very kind and compassionate person, and that's where I'm going to lead from. And because I've managed to find that honesty, I grow spiritually. And that's what we're going to talk about today, guys. Honesty and spirituality is the title of the reading today. The right to a God of our understanding is total and without any catches. Because we have this right, it is necessary to be honest about our belief if we are to grow spiritually. In meetings, over refreshments, and talks with our sponsor, we hear our recovery friends talking about the way they understand this higher power. It would be easy to go with the flow, adopting somebody else's beliefs, but just as nobody can recover for us, so no one's spirituality can substitute for our own. We must honestly search for an understanding of a God that truly works for us. Many of us begin this search with prayer and meditation, and I suggest that, and continue with our experiences in recovery. Have there been instances when we have been given power greater than our own to face life's challenges? I certainly know for me there has been, I'm sure for all of us. When we have quietly sought direction in times of trouble, have we found it? Absolutely. What kind of power do we believe has guided and strengthened us? Loving. What kind of power do we seek? With the answers to these questions, we will understand our higher power well enough to feel safe and confident about asking God to care for our will and our lives. A borrowed understanding of God may do on a short haul, but in the long run, we must come to our own understanding of a higher power, for it is that power which will carry us through our recovery. And the affirmation is, just for today, I seek a power greater than myself that can help me grow spiritually. Today, I will examine my beliefs honestly and come to my own understanding of my loving God. And that's a great one, guys, because you know what? Again, if you're just coming in and like myself, early days was I didn't know what my understanding of God was. Now, for me, it was my communication with God that got me into recovery, which is what I stressed for myself. But again, this is my path, and find yours. So in the beginning, if you're really wrestling, then yes, listen, open your ears, right? Shut your mouth, open your ears, and if you find something that makes sense for you, then of course adopt that. But as you start to get stable and you start to work a program, I implore upon you, if you want to get the most out of recovery, find your version of prayer and meditation, whatever it may be. I'm not trying to tell you got to follow mine, but look into it seriously and examine your beliefs, right? Every one of us has beliefs. Find your belief, find an understanding of a loving God that works for the way you see the world. You know, Buddha, Spirit, Allah, God, Goddess. I don't care. Like, I mean, again, I don't mean that in a putting it down way. I'm saying it only the only person whose beliefs matter for you are your own. But find out what you believe in, be aligned with it. For me, I like to break this down because I think it works and it's an easy way to look at it. I look at the overall totality of the universe around us. There is an underlying law and power that keeps all of this together, all the growing gravity and planets spin around suns and black holes and births of new planets and stars. Like, that is a crazy intelligence and power, right? And that's God. God is at the center of all this, keeping all this together. Now, I can align with that energy when I believe I can, when I stop and I pray and I meditate and I seek answers and I seek guidance, and then I act accordingly. Like, how I think things should be done in the best proper way. I don't hold myself to an unreasonable standard. I allow myself grace. I still make mistakes. Like, I promote kindness and equality, and yet I still find myself getting mad or looking down into scam. Like, I watch scamming videos and I want to strangle these people, and again, that's me falling short. I've sought forgiveness. I've got to be forgiving. And as soon as anybody is willing to start making amends and doing better, then I'm the first to forgive them, right? So at least I'm making strides in that. But again, I believe that's what my God wants me to be. And again, I see the power of a power greater than myself in my life when, just as I talked about last week, I had a little bit of anxiety about going and doing a job that I knew I could do, but I also knew that it could go wrong very easily. And again, I brought it up in prayer the night before. I brought it up in prayer that morning and asked God to look over me and to walk with me through the job. I didn't ask him to do it for me. And then all of a sudden I go there in a job that by all means should have taken me all day and could have gone catastrophically wrong. I got it done in 2.5 hours and it went supernaturally right. Every single thing, just like everything aligned and everything was perfect and boom, boom, boom. And it came out amazing. And I'm like, but again, it's because I'm out here promoting and looking for example of God's work in my life, and I receive them. Now, look at it any way you want, but again, the evidence is there for me. So again, my belief grows stronger. I know that I'm on the right track, and I'm on the right track because I'm engaged with my recovery program. I engage with it every day. I'm strengthening and growing my recovery community by meeting new people, speaking to newcomers, speaking to old timers, offering my phone number and not only but answering phone calls and making phone calls and answering the call when people like my friend Chris and I were talking after the previous 2 meetings, and he's looking he's looking for some day work here and there, and I'm looking at the totality. Like, I've spoken to him. He's a great guy. Got a guy I respect him. Military background. I respect the hell out of that. Somebody I clearly would like to give some work to. And I explain the jobs that I may be able to use him for, and he's all for it. And then boom, fantastic. So now boom, all right, I get to do a good thing by helping somebody else out, and he's going to help me out at the same time and build another relationship. And that's the thing, guys. Like, when I got to pick and choose, because a lot of newcomers come in, and the first thing they're always asking me is, oh, can you get me any work? Because again, everybody in the halfway house needs a job, and I understand that. But I also have to show God that I'm just not going to. And again, I've done this in the past, guys. When I was in a position running a demo company, I used to grab people from halfway houses that were new in the door, and I didn't know their background, and either they would get their first day's pay from me, and then they'd run out and relapse, and I'd feel terrible for it, or they'd end up stealing something on a job, or just bad things would happen. So no, I don't just. You got to understand, because I don't want to be the person that puts money in somebody's hand and has them go out on a run. Well, this is somebody who's been around for a while, and yes, he relapses on occasion. But you know what? He's got a good program. He's got a good heart. He works a good program. He's a good guy. I respect him. Boom. I'd be happy to work. And I could see myself enjoying spending the day talking to him and working with him. And that's the other thing. You got to put your needs first and then help with the overflow. And that's exactly how I see that, right? And by doing so, I'm showing God that, yes, I'm paying attention to all these lessons. I'm practicing these principles in all my affairs. And again, at the same time, anybody that I don't know well enough and can't risk letting them in because I'm in a position where I've got keys and I'm in people's houses, and I just can't bring somebody I don't know into somebody else's home, not knowing what their background is. Not saying that I think somebody's going to do something wrong, but I have respect for my clients, that I've got to make sure I vet anybody I'm going to take with me and know that they're going to act right in somebody else's house. And because of that, I can't just take anybody that comes in off the street and asks me for work, and it's not right to do so. Everybody has to work their own program, and they have to find a job that suits them. And if they get to know me long enough and they stick around long enough, and I see that they're, it's a good fit, then sure, absolutely. but I can't be the hero in everybody's life, and that's something I always wanted to be. Always wanted to be the big shot, the guy that can give people work, and like, no, that terrifies me today because now I see the responsibility in that. I don't want to be, I don't, I want to help everybody in the best way I can, but I also know where I can and where I can't, and by just throwing somebody in over their head before they're stabilized and giving them access to be making money before they're ready to do so and have worked a program that puts them at risk, it puts me at risk, it puts my clients at risk, like, and that's not promoting a good program. Like, it's not always easy to tell somebody that, but then again, same thing, confidence of working my program constantly. I have the confidence to tell them straight up, listen, I'm sorry, you can tell me till you're blue in the face, but just because you just got here and you're in the gym, it's not my responsibility to get you work. If I can point you in the right direction, like, and I will, anywhere I know that's hiring, and I give these people leads all the time. Hey, this company's hiring, that company's hiring. I see a sign here because I'm out and about all day. So I see people hiring and help wanted and things of that nature, and I pass it along. But it doesn't mean I'm gonna, I can let them hop in my truck and come into somebody's house where, like I work in places where there's a lot of resources just laying around because I'm trusted there, and I've got to vet people before I bring them in there. Simple as that. Like, but again, knowing these things and treating them responsibly is what's making the difference in my life today. And this is just another aspect of learning my program for once in my life, not thinking that I can do the same thing and have a different result. Because I look at the history and what's happened in the past and say, okay, well, that didn't work. I can't do that. So I shut my mouth, I open my ears, and I do share openly and honestly, and I share resources as abundantly as I possibly can without, within the parameters of it making sense. And again, there's certain things that just, I can't save the world. It's not my responsibility. And if I choose to, I'm gonna piss away everything I have, and then I'll have nothing to help further. I understand that today I do the most good by putting my needs first, by putting, my success as my top priority, by sharing openly and honestly, but by leading by example is the best thing I can do for anybody, showing them that yes, it is possible. I can't do it for you. Just as nobody can recover for me, I can't recover for somebody else. The best thing I can do is go out here and do it, and then talk about it and share openly and give people encouragement and point them in the best direction I can. And as I'm starting to go through steps with sponsors, and then when I get to a point that I've been through it all and I can sponsor somebody, but again, I won't do that until I know that I can comfortably sponsor somebody. People love to come up and ask me because they see, yeah, I'm doing well, and I'm very open and I'm easy to approach. But guys, I have 13 months sober. I don't necessarily have all the information at my disposal to confidently sponsor somebody, and I won't do so until I know I can, or at least I've got enough of a sponsorship network around me that if I have a question, I can immediately reach out and get the answer for somebody that has asked me a question. Because again, that's why I'm doing well today, and that's why things will continue to progress, because I'm honest. And as long as I'm honest, and I'm honest about, again, in the past I would have said, oh yeah, because I'm seeing answers in prayer, me and God are like this, and I know, no. Yes, I feel like I am very tapped in. I feel like I'm incredibly tapped in. I feel like I'm one of the most blessed miracles walking today, and I do have a direct line to my higher power. Doesn't mean I know what it is. It doesn't mean I know I can define it. And by my honesty of saying, no, I don't have those answers, it does many things. It shows I'm being real, it shows I'm being honest, and it shows I'm still looking for answers, which means there's opportunities to learn more. And as I learn more, my spirituality grows. And that's the beautiful thing, guys. I was always in such a rush to get to the definition of being like, I'm there, that I never understood that it's not a destination. There is no there for me to get to. Recovery is a journey. It is a daily reprieve from a disease that wants to take my life, for which there is no known cure, but it can be arrested if I work my program every day, and I fully understand that today. I've bought into that, and I believe it so much that I tailor my life around my recovery, because that's the only way I'm ever going to succeed. And because I do, I'm succeeding beautifully, beyond my wildest dreams, at a rate that I never, ever would have believed possible. I am suddenly finding myself in a position where I remember sitting in rehabs for the last 20 years, or off and on, or in prison, when people would come in and you'd see that one guy where just like recovery fits him like a glove, and he's thriving, and he started a business, and he's buying houses and vacationing, and just living this beautiful life. And I'm like, wow, why can't that be me? Well, this time around, I understood that can be me. Doesn't mean it's going to be me, but if I want the benefit of that, I have to work at the program. So that's all I've done. And again, the only reason I understood that I was going to start seeing success in it, because when I would pray and meditate, I was immediately getting the download that yes, you can. You have everything you need to do so if you turn it over to God and follow this simple program the way it's laid out. Seek knowledge of God's will for you, and He will give you the power to carry that out if you're paying attention and meeting Him halfway. So from day one, I've lost all this animosity, all this concern, all the stress, and all the anxiety of not knowing, understanding that I'm not supposed to know. Everything that I need to know will be delivered to me as I need to know it if I continue to seek and follow this program as it's laid out. And I fully trust and believe that today. That is the biggest reason that I look 10 years younger, because that has relieved all the stress of me trying to manipulate outcomes that I can't control. And I understand that today. The only thing I can control is the way that I react, and then or don't react, but the way that I respond to situations in my life. And all I have to do is just reacting. Well, when you respond as opposed to react, it means you stop, you digest it, you think about it, and you make a logical decision, or the best decision you can for myself first and for those around me. And I do a lot of things for other people today, and that's okay. Doesn't mean I'm going to do every crazy thing that comes in. No, I get to pick and choose, and it's for those that are in recovery. My first concerns are those in recovery. Who do I know that's probably going through something tough today? Let me reach out and just encourage them. These are the things that make me feel good about myself, which shows me my spirituality is growing. But all of these things have only come to bear because I started getting honest. And again, my definition of honesty and things change constantly as I learn new things. I still find out things about myself constantly because, again, I'm not there. It's a destination. And I'm seeking knowledge, and I'm reading these readings every day, and I'm taking my daily inventory to see how did they apply, what did I do well today, what did I not, where did I fall short today, where can I pick things up tomorrow, and not at an unreasonable standard, because I give myself grace when I make mistakes, but as I catch bad behaviors, I try to correct it as soon as possible. And that's all we ask, God. That's all God asks of me. My higher power. Find your higher power. And again, in the beginning, if you don't know yours, then there's no better way than asking others, seeing what you agree with, and then adopting it and trying it. And again, if it doesn't work, then try something else. That's why I've gone to 3 or 4 different churches. And again, I believe the kingdom of heaven is from within, but I still enjoy going to church on Sunday because I enjoy it. And again, I don't have to pick it apart and say, well, if I don't believe in this, why am I doing this? I go because it feels good when I go there. I like praying in a church. I like talking to God. But again, the kingdom of heaven is from within. I don't have to go to a church to be spiritual. On the contrary, the two are, religion is man-made. Spiritually is aligning myself with my higher power, whom I choose to call God. So long as I continue to do that, I continue to pay attention to what I'm doing, how I'm feeling, where I'm falling short, where I'm doing well, and trying to do better every day, then I expect things are going to get better. And I found they get better at a rate that blows my mind, because as with so many other things in my former life, I was selling myself short. And that's okay, because I don't want to be cocky and walk around thinking I know everything, because as soon as I think I know everything, I can learn nothing. And I like learning today. Learning is a beautiful thing. I'm learning so many different things in so many different areas, and it's a beautiful thing. And I trust and believe that I still have work to do, because that's why I'm still single and God hasn't dropped the perfect partner in my lap yet, because I'm not there yet. And I believe and trust fully that as soon as, could be in my life already right now, and I just don't, but I know that when I'm ready, the signs will be shown to me, and I will start looking for that too. And maybe next Valentine's Day there'll be somebody sitting beside me making a video. Who knows? It's up to God. I don't worry about these things. Either way, I'm having a great time today. I'm enjoying my life. I'm so incredibly grateful because I remember where I was every day when I say my prayers. And again, I don't use it as an anchor, but I use that as the compass to let me know I'm heading the right direction, guys. Use your past as a compass. Be honest. Find your honest belief in a higher power because it's there. Find it, give reverence to it, be grateful for it, align yourself with it, and watch your life thrive. Guys, that's a video for today. Thank you so much for being here with me. Always remember, God loves you. I love you. We'll see you in the next one.